Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.
And what I'm basically going to do is just see how they do individually throughout the year, what they achieve. And whoever does the best, I think, is who I probably should consider for breeding. It doesn't mean they'll automatically be considered a candidate, but, you know, they'll be in the drawing. So that means if I do decide I want to use a different sire or, you know, get somebody in there, they can be on that list. That's basically what their competition will be next year. Because like I said, Marksman, that's a decent showing. Like, yeah, we didn't finish near the points, but again, he had plenty left in the tank. He wasn't tired. He was still trucking along. If that race was a furlong longer, we probably finished in the top 4, top 5 minimum, you know? And he's not a dirt horse, so that to me says a lot. Angel Hearts is up in the Winter GP, second favorite. Who's supposed to beat us? Safe Express? A 5 horse? Why am I going this way? What's your stats? Okay, having like a 93, 90 feel and temper rating, that's not like a... That stat is not like having those numbers for speed or power or stamina. You know what I mean? Like, they're important, but that's not going to dictate your, you know, everything in the race for you. You can get a horse with 33 temper in the right feel range and they're not going to give you a problem. You don't need the rating to be 93. Close race not good? I'm confused. Where is the favoritism coming from? How is that horse more favored? What number are we with Angel Hearts? I thought we were at the beginning. Oh, we're 14. How is like that the favorite better than this horse? 95 heart rating makes a difference, especially in a race where the competition, apparently, the favorite doesn't like close races. We have great latent abilities. Impost is fine. A better I'm confused. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me, but okay, I guess. I'm not even saying that horse is bad, but I mean, compared to Angel Hearts, where's the favoritism coming from? I don't get it. Usually Gallop Racer is good about that type of stuff, but then again, not really. Tears of Stone is still with the record here. God, she hasn't raced in forever, so the fact that that record still stands, that's pretty commendable for her. Yeah, I'm totally not understanding the favoritism for the 5 horse. I can understand putting that horse as a second favorite. Third favorite, I think, would be more realistic. Saying that's the strongest horse in the field, nothing was stronger about Safe Express over Angel Hearts. I just don't get it. As long as I don't mess this race up, I'm calling a win here. I think the game is definitely drunk off of Gallop Racer juice or whatever the heck it's drinking. I know you're going to try to overtake me. I can see it already, and I'm not letting it happen today. Nope. Yep, whoever that is, the 8 horse next to us, stately sprinter, Hopper. Hopper was really trying to overtake us. I'm like, nope, not today, buddy. And like, we have the advantage of running up here at the front. Safe Express is all the way at the back. I don't see it. I won't be surprised if that horse is very close to us by the end of the race, but I mean, I still don't see it. Sometimes I'm just like, does Gallop Racer just pick horses based off of how many 90s stats they have? Which also wouldn't make sense, because we have the same amount of stats in the 90s as that horse does, so I don't know. I don't know how they determine favoritism. I'm sure there's an algorithm, but like clearly it's broken half the time, because like there are races where you should be the favorite as the player and the game doesn't consider you the favorite. You know what I mean? Like if it was actual bookies looking at the information, they would give you the favoritism. So I mean, it's been a easy race for Angel Hearts as it always is, because this guy does not like give me any issues ever. Now I'm getting him off the rough. I do have last corner leader, so I just want to get him up a touch to this point here so he can at least cruise into the turn. Ahead. Now I can send him. Still waiting that Rebo. We're not going to get it. Safe Express is nowhere to be seen. Furlong left to go. Like I said, why did the 5-horse have favoritism? Can somebody give me a valid argument that would actually make sense? And that horse didn't even catch us. Angel Hearts is a dog. He gets it done. That's another grade 1 for the 3-year-old colt. By Gentle House out of Chasing Hearts. This guy's, he's really been so fun to work with because, again, horses that don't give me problems are horses I love a lot. That's a 6th grade 1 victory for Angel Hearts. He's on a roll, man. On a roll. Let's go, my boy. Winter GP victory. Made it look like it was nothing. Crushes it by at least probably more than 5 lengths, I'm guessing. Am I right? 6 lengths. We'll take it. Safe Express. No offense. You stink. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. You absolutely stink. I don't know why they gave you favoritism. In a race where we're not racing with Angel Hearts, I totally get it. But I've only lost 1 race with him, and he came in 2nd. He's basically Eastside The dude is practically undefeated. Right? Over a 91% win ratio at this point? To me, I feel like our colts have to do what he's doing, more or less, to really be top-tier horses for breeding on the stud side. Storm Owl is getting there, and he also has abilities and stats that back his story up. You know? And I think he'll really have a good... Storm Owl will be 5 years old, won't he? That's crazy. Anyways, Formal Method, she's up here in the Tokyo Cup. I tried winning the GWS with her. It was too difficult because most of those races are, like, in my opinion, too long for her. Like, this race is technically too long for her. But the competition is also a bit easier. Dancing Trial is a good horse. Don't get me wrong. Amusing Factory, not bad. Only son. But this isn't Wonder Whale and Eccentric Goal and... Show whomever else we were facing. It's not those horses, right? So hopefully I should be able to win this. But if I can't, if I'm just on a grade 1 slumper with Formal Method, I don't know if I'm running her in grade 1s next year. Because, like, she needs wins, you know? If she drops this one, it'll be her 4th race without a win. She won her first 2 races in her career, you know, and I have struggled ever since. So to me, these are races she has to win today. We have to win. We're supposed to. Sorry about that. Chewing on candy, gumming, and then trying to talk. That's why I sounded like that. We got to win here. I mean, I know we're supposed to, but again, I was supposed to technically win the last 3 races, even if we weren't the favorite, because she was just the strongest horse in the field. And still didn't happen. And again, I really don't like the fact that she's a front runner. Like, she would be so much better as at least a preceder or a mid. She doesn't have the stamina to be a consistent front runner. I don't get it. A horse that runs 6 to 8 with like 54 stamina, I would never want that horse to be a front runner, you know? Give me at least preceder, that way we can fall off the pace. But, whatever. Is this our last race? I don't know if it is or not. It might be. I think this actually is our last race. Wow. 47 races in this video, guys. 47. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. That's a bunch. Think about it. Most of my horses don't hit 47 races in their entire career, and I've managed to do 47 in just today's video alone. You know? Of course, now it's split over 2 days, technically. And then she has a good heart rating, but then, like, when I try to get her in head-to-head, she doesn't win the head-to-head. She's really a confusing horse. Not gonna lie to you. Now I'm gonna send her, and I know her speed drops really fast. Now she should win this if the 14's closing. She should hold on to win. And she will. Just barely. Like, I'm winning, but, like, that's not a convincing win. She's... I know some people would tell me, start her later. I've tried that. When I do that, she still ends up losing because the other horses end up going past her, and then she doesn't like have an answer. Which is weird because she does have grit, but that ability happens at random times. It's not like stretch burst that specifically seems to happen in the last half furlong until the finish line. Like, I really think she would be better having stretch burst because that's where she's losing. She's losing her races in the final furlong to half a furlong, really. Fast pace. And they give me a double S on the spurt, but she's still almost lost. I also have to remember I'm running her 2 furlongs longer than she should. So I think the rule of thumb for next year, if I'm putting her in grade 1s, make sure they're no longer than 8 furlongs. Because to be honest, I've rarely run her at her preferred distance her entire career. So like I can't be mad at her. I just kind of wish I just wish some things were different about her. Like she's a great horse, but she's definitely weird. That light type just doesn't suit her, in my opinion. So, here we go, guys. End of the year. End of year 40. GWS, excuse me, not GWS. Dream Series is coming back at the end of year 42. So, we'll get through year 41. In the next, I don't know how long it's. Hopefully, that won't take as long as it took this year, because I'll be racing with half the amount of horses. We'll get through year 41. And year 42. That technically means we have 2 more years to retire as many great horses as possible. That's also why I'm trying to be better about who I put in the GWS races. I really need to, like, for the next 2 years, I have to think about who can actually win a Dream Series race. I think I need to look at it that way and not just look at it from the way of, oh, I'm just trying to get them into the Hall of Fame just to say they're in the Hall of Fame. Like, there has to be more of a important reason behind it, and I think that important reason has got to be think of the Dream Series and think about if this horse can win. I think Angel Hearts that we raced on 2 races ago, I think he can legitimately win a Dream Series race under the right conditions. That guy is super strong. Don't let his stats fool you. He's much stronger than he appears. EastsideBand, I've proven that in offline mode and free mode, she can win the Dream Series. Cleopatra, she legitimately on merit has won a Dream Series race for us, I believe. On merit, she won a Dream Series race, you know? So those are the type of Hall of Fame horses I need to be focusing on, right? And I'll figure that out next year. But anyways, let's go through these classifications. So Whispering Gold, our 2-year-old colt ends up getting 124 for 2-year-olds. Not bad, but wish that was a little bit higher. Extreme Kick, she still gets a 121, which is still impressive in its own right. And then we have Cafe Bronco and Revenge, the stablemates, the half brothers actually, that get 119. So 3-year-old Turf, Lockwood clears the mile category with a 133, and then he has a 124 for the mid. Angel Hearts clears a 132 for the long. I'm actually really surprised they considered Lockwood that strong at a mile. And I'm not saying he isn't. I personally felt like Angel Hearts did a little. I thought his wins were a little bit more impressive, but going into the game, no. Lockwood probably had, I guess, some bigger wins. I'm not mad. I mean, that's still our guy, and I'm still giving him another year to prove, you know, he can be up there with those tier 1 horses I want him to be there with. Glam Queen. It's actually crazy. These are all from the same crop. So the fact that they've dominated the 3-year-old category is pretty sweet. Like, they were all born at the same time, all from the same, group, so to speak. Glam Queen, she gets a 115 for the sprint, but she clears 130 for the mid and the long. That's pretty impressive. I can't remember the last time I had an original actually be at least at 130 for 2 categories minimum. You know, usually it's like a Lockwood situation at the top where you see he's a 133 for the mile and then he's only a 124 for the mid. It's rare for me to get a horse that actually effectively clears 130, you know, for both categories. So that's awesome. 3-year-old Dirt, Lockwood, 125. And that's the thing about Lockwood, too. That's what I mean. It's really a hard decision to make between him and Marksman. That's why I'm going to give them both a full year. Marksman will be at his peak. Lockwood is already at his peak. So we'll give them both a fair shot because, again, Lockwood does have that turf and dirt flexibility. So value-wise, you're going to have horses that can do more with Lockwood, technically. But I think the ceiling could be higher from marksman type of horses. That's just what that's just kind of my theory. All right, this 4-year-old Turf. EastsideBand, I mean, I raced her in some of the easiest grade 1s this year because, like, she's proven how strong she is. I don't really have to run against the best horses anymore until we have to run against them. At this point, I want to win as many grade 1s and as many titles with her as possible, which means we're probably not going to be running in the toughest grade 1s because she's probably going to skip most of the GWS races for the next couple of years. So she'll be in the easier grade 1s. I don't care about that. Like, I just want to make sure she's ready to go for the Dream Series, which she will be. Storm Owl gets a 134. That is amazing. To think, I was literally contemplating not even keeping on with that guy for a race. Like, I think I've raced him 4 times in this video, close to it. And I was really considering not continuing on with them. What a horrible mistake that would have been. Eastern Knife gets a 136 for the long. No surprise. He's unbeatable. Glad he's on our side. But 134 for the mid for Storm Owl. And keep in mind, he's only won 2 grade 1s. To me, that means his grade 2s and his grade 3s really did him well. Now, he doesn't have that many. He only has 2 grade 2s and 1 grade 3, but still, I'm looking at some of the other horses in our spreadsheet. Some of them don't even have both. Some of them may only have a grade 3 victory and no grade 2s, or vice versa. And then a couple of grade 1s, but Storm Owl's profile, he's only got 2 grade 1s now, but he has 2 grade 2s and 1 grade 3, and a couple of opens. So I feel like the combination of all of those and how he has won them has really helped him. So EastsideBand, she's basically 130 average for sprint mile mid. What's new? 4-year-old Dirt, Little Mai, she gets to a 128. You see why it was so hard to win? Eccentric Gold clears it with a 135. Fine Show was a 127. Wonderwell wasn't even up here. Dang, Wonderwell, what happened, bro? Delta Dream was a 106, but I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer. Oh, is Wonderwell only 3? I'm like, why isn't he? Where is he? Did Wonderwell even win a race this year? Like, he's got to be somewhere. Hold on. I don't know how old is he. I don't know how old he is. I don't remember if he's 3 or 4. You know, Marksman hit a 122. That's not bad. I feel like I'm. Where's Wonderwell? Did he not hit the board at all this year? That would literally be one of the craziest developments ever. Final Movie is down there at a 126. I really wonder if this guy even hit the board. I never thought about it because he's always on here. I don't remember how old he is. I thought he was only 3, so I know he shouldn't be in this category, but I looked in the 3-year-old category. He wasn't there either. There's no Wonderwell anywhere. This is kind of tripped out. He's got to be 3, right? I know he's 3. No Wonderwell here. No Wonderwell here. That would actually be super insane if he genuinely didn't win 1 race this year, which would tell you how tough of a year it was. I can't remember the last time Wonderwell never won a race at all in a season, or at least from what we saw. But he's not on any of these boards at all, unless I'm completely skipping over his name. But he's always in the top, and he's nowhere in any of these tops. That's really crazy. Or is he 2? He could totally be 2 years old, couldn't he? But even still, he's not here. No, I don't remember how old he is. I just keep guessing different ages because I'm like, he has to be on the board. He's not on any of these boards. That would be... I don't understand that. Did he just not... I mean, he raced. We raced against him. I just don't remember him winning. EastsideBand gets it again. She's a 2-time Horse of the Year champion. She gets the best sprinter or a miler. That's really funny because again, I just said it. Like I didn't even run her in competitive grade ones this year at all. She had no competitive fields. That's kind of cheesy. So 2-time Horse of the Year award victory there for Eastside I mean, I'm not mad. Like, she's the best horse I've ever had. Like, of course, I'm super happy. I'm really shocked because, again, we ran against no tough competition. The only thing working for her is that she seemed to win all of her races at least by 6 or more lengths. I don't think any race was closer than 6. I called it. We swept every category. So even though we didn't win in GWS, I mean, according to the game, we still had the best horses on track, obviously. Best dirt horse goes to Major River. I thought she deserved it. I talked about how good she was as a dirt horse and how fun it was to work with her. Best older filly goes to EastsideBand. Of course, there's the glitch where it has the colt there. But best older filly goes to EastsideBand. All because of that Australia Grade 1. I think that was a 6-furlong sprint. I'm really shocked that race did it for her. I think she set a record there. And she didn't even win by I don't recall her winning by double digits. I really don't. Eastern Eye gets your best older colt. Well deserved. Angel Hearts, our boy, he gets best 3-year-old colt. His stablemate, Glam Queen, she gets best 3-year-old filly. Green Crystal, best 2-year-old colt, best 2-year-old filly. Flying Home. Guys, the oldest horse here is Major River, and she is 7 turning 8? No, she's 6 turning 7. So our oldest award was 6, but the average age was 4 and under. So that is awesome. That just still goes to show you the youth that we have going forward. For Flying Home to get best 2-year-old filly, that's a great start for her career. Green Crystal just looks kind of untouchable on the dirt. That's no surprise. Glam Queen has been fantastic on the turf. Angel Hearts, he's been basically, her. To me, they're really one and the same. Just Glam Queen for the fillies and Angel Hearts for the colts. EastsideBand is EastsideBand, so of course whatever she wins makes sense. Major River did exceptionally well on the dirt. She's on a winning streak still as we speak. I haven't lost with her in a while. And Eastern Knife, awesome year. Let's go. Let's go. That is what I'm talking about. That is why we play the game. To show that we are making progress, and we still have a long way to go, man. I want to have multiple EastsideBands. Technically, we have her, and maybe Angel Hearts and Glam Queen could be the next ones. They very well could be. They're on their way. Jockey Challenge, jockey whatever, same as usual. We raced 170. Look, it's unusual for me to have more races than the AI because they're always racing. I raced more than Nielsen and Tanaka. Thompson raced 203 times, which is insane. And Dean raced 193. I had 177. That's way too much. I need to be where Harris and Kramer. 100 races, a little bit more or less, that's ideally where we need to be. So that means subtracting 70 races a year. Guys, that doesn't sound like a lot. That would help us progress a lot faster. 70 races is a lot not to do. Think about it. I pretty much upload 40 to 60 minute videos now. And that's usually 4 times a week. So that means every week I'm uploading about 4 hours worth of Gallop Racer 2004. What we did today in 47 races has basically taken me almost, over 3 hours, almost 4? So basically, racing 70 times less, that genuinely saves, in real life, almost 6 to 7 hours of time. Guys, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to save. Imagine just sitting in a room and sitting there for 6 hours. That's how much time I will save and we will save by not racing as many horses that we've raced this year. That's why I'm cutting the number down in half. I hate how much time it's taking, and I'm not a fan of that. We won 101 times out of the 177, though. I think that's the most I've won in a season. Possibly. We may have had 100 before, but busy year, man. My gosh. She gets Horse of the Year for the second time. The beautiful EastsideBand. She's so amazing. I don't really have anything to say. You know, I'm almost starstruck. That's how it feels. And again, she's one of many. Of course, the jockey stuff we always get because the AI, they're still challenging. They're just not what they used to be. Oh, man, what a year. It's 46 grade ones. Almost 50. That's pretty awesome, man. That was a really, really good year, despite how tough it was. It was a very challenging year, you know, but even in the midst of all of that, we still did phenomenal, and our horses, we swept every award. We swept every award. Yeah, I'm going to stick you to graded stakes, grade 2, grade 3 dirts until grade 1s are at your range distance. 100%. I'm not going to push it too hard with her. Like, I want to run her in this Tokyo Queen Cup, but gosh, the distance, right? This is what I mean. The dirt races are like so long in this game, most of them, and the shorter ones are only opens. See, that's the only thing about her. I don't want dirt horses with her distance. I don't want a horse that can only run a mile tops, you know, because most of the dirt races in this game are longer than a mile. So, like, why would you want a dirt horse that only runs 6 to 8? It doesn't really make sense. I mean, seriously, there's not a race that is within her distance at a graded stakes level at all for 3 months. Look, nothing here. That race is 12 furlongs, too long. Nothing here. That race is 9.5 furlongs. I think she could possibly run it, but it'd still be a stretch. Technically speaking, like, I might need to save her for this. But how's she going to win the dirt when there's only, like, a handful of those short dirt races? I don't know. Let me see. What I'm going to do is count how many dirt races are within 6 to 8 furlongs for her. So Eagle Stakes is 1. Yep, still 1. Just doing a quick check. 2. So she's up to 2. Only 2 dirt grade 1s so far in 7 months, guys. Keep that in mind, okay? Still only 2 in 8 months, so that's okay. Still only 2. Okay. So 9 months into the year, there are only 2 grade 1s under 2 dirt grade 1s under 8 furlongs, okay? 8.5, I'll give that a pass. That's 3. Osaka Mile, that's 4. Osaka Sprint, that's 5. World J Cup Classic, that's 6. So it gets better towards the end of the year, basically. I don't know if she'll still be that fast. I mean, she should be. She's 89 now. Yeah, she actually won't have a major drop-off this year. She should still be above 80. She still could have a chance to be a Hall of Famer, which is crazy. It just means I have to really focus strictly on the, you know, like I said, 6 to 8.5 dirt grade 1s. And I'm still worried about running 8.5, but I'm going to be honest. I want to get her in a grade 3 to kick off the year. She'll have a handicap, but we just got to get you wins, my girl. She should really be on 7 for 7, 6 for 7 at the minimum. 3 grade 1s. I mean, she's 4 years old right now, too. She's not like 3. She's not 2 heading into her 3-year-old season. She's 4, so, you know, we have to do better with her this year. But, yeah, like, the really short dirt grade 1 sprints do not happen until the end of the year. I understand that that's how it works, but again, if you have a horse like Formal Method who only runs 6 to 8, you can't do many grade 1s with her in the beginning of the year. She doesn't have the endurance for it. She only has 58 stam. If she had 68 stamina, I'm pretty sure she would have won those races at 10 furlongs, you know? Like, she doesn't have that much endurance. That's why she's 6 to 8. So, like, running her a furlong longer than that is really pushing it. We won that Tokyo Cup because there was really nobody else in the field. that rivaled her, and she just held on. If that race was a half a furlong shorter, she loses it. So 9 furlongs, I still think under the right conditions could be okay for her, but I'm still not holding my breath on it, you know? So we'll figure out formal method throughout the year, but Angel Hearts, man. His worst thing going for him is his toughness rating, his health. Horses from him are not going to be able to race too many times, I guess, and that's kind of a bummer, but again, when you have a horse that's able to win 10 out of 11 races with 6 grade 1s, I think you're all right. You know what I mean? So we're on a 4-race winning streak as we speak. And I lost a random grade 1 at Paris. I don't know what I did to mess that up. Other than that, he's been on a winning streak, you know? So, like, he's the bar that I want our newer horses to hit, our newer 2-year-olds, you know? He's been the best by far. Him and Delta Dream. They've been the best of our recent colts in the last, I would say, 10 years in the game. So they're setting the bar. And again, his stats, that right side is solid. That health rating is literally the only anomaly. And the left side is okay. Like, it's nothing super special, but I think because his right side is so strong, again, with the exception of the health rating, that is what is giving him the advantage. And then he's super responsive. Like, he's super quick with it. Lockwood is missing that. And I think if Lockwood had this type of response rating, Lockwood would be probably in the same conversation. So I'm trying to point out, guys, these little things do matter in this game. I feel like I've been playing this game long enough now where I'm realizing the effect of these categories and sometimes how not having one stat be at a certain point can sometimes dictate whether you have a super horse or whether you just have a really good double S horse that may not be Dream Series capable. I think Angel Hearts could be Dream Series capable. I think so. Because he's got fantastic heart. Again, he's got great abilities that I can rely on at any point in the stretch. Last corner leader is pretty easy to get since he runs as a proceeder. We usually always get that. Stretch burst will kick in if the race gets close, and then he also has spurt if he needs to dig into that. You know, so he has a lot of good things going for him that also help give him that super horse type of build. So happy, man. I was excited for Angel Hearts. I figured he should be amazing because Chasing Hearts has been, her and Tigris of Stone have been the best broodmares we've had on this playthrough in its entirety. But again, for him not to be like a 90s everywhere stat type of horse, he's built like one. It's been a blast, man. I just love being able to ride with horses that can actually do what I've wanted them to do. I kind of want to send him to Dubai. Like, what is there to do in the beginning of the year? Just opens and grade 2s and grade 3s. I'm like, no. We're going to send you to Dubai, brother. And, yeah. Try to get him his first grade 1. That'd be a great way to kick off his 4-year-old, 4-year-old campaign. And he has a normal growth type as well. In fact, I think most some Gentle House horses do have a fast one. It depends. I just realized they're all half siblings too. Angel Hearts, Glam Queen, and Lockwood all have siblings. Same father, different mothers. So it kind of makes sense, especially in the case of Angel Hearts and Glam Queen, why they're both like kind of polar opposite. I mean, they're like, they have the same stats, of course, because of Gentle House. The stat latent ability bar doesn't move. Wins wise, Glam Queen's dropped 2, but that's it. Angel Hearts has only dropped 1, and he has way more grade 1s than her. And then you look at their stats. You see that high heart rating. Their speed between 75 and 79. The feel rating is similar. The power is pretty similar. The staying is identical. The temper is only 1 point off. The health. It's almost like they're full-blooded siblings, right? I mean, they're very, I mean, they're pretty close to, like, not 100% identical, but they're more on that range than just being complete strangers, you know? They're actually very similar. 5 point, like, all their stats are only separated by less than 5 points. Different leg types, Distance, they both can run well over 10 furlongs, so that's great. And Lockwood is quite different. Like his stats are the complete opposite of some of theirs in some rights, you know. So that just goes to show you, for some reason, Angel Hearts and Glam Queen, they really almost came out as if they were like twins. You know what I mean? And I compared them like that earlier in this video, in this recording session, maybe about 40 minutes ago or something, and I didn't even realize their stats are that identical. Like, they're so similar and with the same abilities. So I guess I was right when I said, like, they're literally kind of interchangeable in that way. Like, they're really the same horse, just Glam Queen's a filly and Angel Hearts is a colt, but they're more or less, look, this is Angel Hearts, his sister, half-sister. I love that, man. I love that Gallop Racer has that where you can see some similarities in your horses. Kayla, if you're watching, well, I think a Glam Queen Angel Hearts portrait would actually be pretty sweet. Didn't even realize they were twins. My friends, that is going to do it for Gallop Racer 2004 for a couple of weeks. Again, I'll be taking my hiatus, deciding officially which horses I know for sure I'm not keeping and which horses are kind of on that in-between line. We'll be retiring a number of horses this year. At least over half a dozen, at least 6 to 8 I think we're for sure retiring, so that will save up the amount of races we're doing. Like, imagine if I'm racing every horse at least 5 times in a year, which is the case. Releasing 6 horses, you do 6 times 5, that's 30 less races to do. That's 4 hours basically worth of, you know, that we're saving, that we can actually make forward progress and not be stuck. So like I said, my goal is to eventually get down to 15, but that's not going to happen probably for a couple of years, but I'm going to work towards that point, which means every year breeding and everything and deciding who we keep is going to have to get more and more strict. And the thing is, if we do keep over 15 horses, like between 15 and 20, I should say, maybe sometimes for certain horses, I just race them less, especially depending on their growth type and when they'll peak and everything else. Gracious Scene, you're not in a race. Did you? I raced. Did I not race in that Grade 3 Superior? I think I did. No, did I? I thought I already had this horse registered, but I'm not mad because the AI still won with him, so he's still undefeated. So whether I ran with him or the AI did, it doesn't matter. The horse is undefeated. Thank goodness. I thought I was, I don't know. I thought I had his race scheduled. Apparently not, Eric. All right, Grade 2, Tampa Stakes. I mean, he's ready for Grade 1s. I don't know if I want to put him in the Hall of Fame, though, you know? I really want to save that for our originals because I think they're going to have the better chance to beat, obviously, the Dream Series horses. I mean, I think I picked him up for his breeding capabilities. I don't think the game gave him to me. I definitely purchased him in the shop. So, like, I'm not, like, I don't care about putting him in the Hall of Fame. With his growth type, I think just him winning a lot, it will be good for his profile. He doesn't need to be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it. Next time we come back, like I said, we'll technically have a lot of racing to do in the beginning of the year, so that's kind of annoying. But some of these horses we'll be letting go before their races come around, so that'll be the case with quite a number of them. But yeah, it's still going to be a number of races in the beginning of the year. But again, we'll be, you know, dropping more horses over time. So eventually the load will lighten as we proceed onwards. So I appreciate you guys for the love and support. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Feel free to let me know what horses you really enjoyed in year 40 of this playthrough, which is more or less most of the horses on screen, with the exception of like the half a dozen we retired for the breeding barn. But, you know, at least the second half of this year, like all these horses on this list, September Sky, Little Vixen, Major River, Crazy Hunter, Secretariat Sun, Delta Dream, Classy and Smart, the great EastsideBand. Like, there's so many horses that have had good stories this year. Little My, Storm Out has his resurgence. Angel Hearts, Glam Queen, Lockwood, Marksman, just talked about all of them. Formal Method and the 2-year-olds. Yeah, feel free to let me know what horses you really like out of the bunch that we have, and who you may be, curious to see foals from as well. Who you think would be good. Because, you guys have helped. It's not like I'm just doing the, just selecting everything by myself. You guys have definitely had a ton of important input on just kind of helping me manage the game, which is kind of like we're all managing it together. I'm just the one playing it. But you guys have certainly helped in, putting me in a position to kind of decide what to do with certain horses, what to look for. You guys have given me good advice as far as, let that horse go, or maybe you should give that horse at least 1 year of breeding. All that's been very important. I think it's all helped us to get to where we are collectively in this playthrough so far. So appreciate you guys, and feel free to, again, to let me know any thoughts you have about this bunch of horses that we have going forward. And yeah, we'll be back here with Gallop Racer in a couple of weeks. I'll say 2. It could be 3 at the longest, but it shouldn't be any longer than that. So we'll have, of course, plenty great horse racing content in between, and a new series I hopefully plan to start in the time that we're taking a break from this game. But until next time, Horse Racing Gamer signing out. Hope you all have a great and fantastic day. I will see you all later. We will be back here soon. Goodbye.
Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.